Hi, so today I'm going to be sharing about partially about a personal journey and also about one of the services that I offer called Heartbreak Transformation. I'm sharing this on this day because yesterday marked the 9 months to the day when my former partner broke up with me and created a massive life change for me. And so yesterday, July 13th, marked 9 months, and I feel like it's really significant that the 9 months happen to also align with a full moon in Capricorn, which for me in astrology rules my fourth house of foundation. And it's significant for me for a lot of reasons. And I just felt really inspired to share a little bit about my journey with this, with my own heartbreak transformation. And my hopes in sharing this is that it offers maybe some information or inspiration to others out there that are going through something similar. It's such a deep, transformative healing journey, and it is, for the most part, brutal. And so I'm hoping to equip people with some inspiration and guidance and how to really engage with the journey in a way that's gonna give them the most optimal heartbreak transformation that they can create for themselves, because it really is an opportunity to recreate ourselves, to transform into a new version of ourselves that couldn't have been done without the devastation of the heartbreak. And so I just wanted to be here with you and offer this, and I hope so much that it's helpful. And people can use this that are also experiencing heartbreaks for themselves, or even just like any really intense life challenge, because it ultimately comes down to how we deal with stress and how we take care of ourselves and how we put ourselves back together after the tower crumbles, right? So first of all, and you'll see my eyes kind of darting down sometimes because I have some notes down here that I'm referencing. It keeps me on track. Okay. So in general, the topic of self-care is really, really important, just in general, just to manage daily life. I'm really, really big into self-care as a lifestyle, like not as a thing I do on Sundays. It's like a lifestyle, and so going through times of life that are extremely stressful, like a heartbreak, are times where we really need to up the self-care game to really support ourselves, mind, body, spirit. It's a holistic approach that's needed in order to take care of all these different parts of ourselves that are affected through something like a heartbreak. Heartbreaks, they're never easy. I mean, breakups they're never easy, no matter what way you slice it. And some breakups definitely are harder than others, and so I think that in any case, just radical self-care is really, really important to taking care of ourselves through times of stress. So I'm going to share with you here about some of the self-care practices that I was doing as I was going through my heartbreak transformation. And so before I dive into all this, I want to say too that part of why I'm sharing this with you right now is because I'm celebrating. I am celebrating the completion of my heartbreak transformation. It has been a journey, to say the least, and I feel successful through it. I feel accomplished within it. I feel complete. I feel just like, wow, I really got what I needed from it, and I left no stone unturned, and I just feel so liberated and refreshed and renewed and ready to create my path forward. And so part of why I'm sharing this with you now is because for anybody else out there that's going through a heartbreak, or really any kind of very challenging, stressful life situation, I hope that this information here will help equip some people also with some tools that they can use in their own journey of healing. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so like I was saying, self-care on the daily is super important, but when you're going through a heartbreak and you are just flooded with so many intense emotions all day long, and your mind is just cycling through so many different processes. There's so much that gets, that you like kind of like filter through to like try to understand like what happened and what did I do or what went wrong, like what's mine and what's theirs. I mean, there's just so much to the process. I really, really encourage you to do intense physical activity. Like I was doing it every day, but I would say at least like a few times a week, because you need to move that energy through your body. Like I would wake up, like when in the first couple of months after he broke up with me, I would literally wake up in the morning after sleeping 2 hours for like 2 months straight. I would wake up in the morning and I was flooded with anger, and I would just get straight outside and I would go run hills and I would do high intensity workouts afterwards with weights. And I gotta say, it was really helpful. It was really helpful because like that anger, that high emotional charge, like we need to move that through our bodies. So intense physical exercise I would say on the daily. If you're a woman and you're menstruating, don't do intense physical exercise. But otherwise, I would say, yeah, it's a good idea. You got to move that energy, and it's a good way to cleanse it through the body and through the breath, through all that heavy breathing, and through all the tissues. So another thing that I suggest in the self-care realm for taking care of yourself for a heartbreak is really get onto a daily protocol with herbs and supplements that are going to help support your system while you're going through all that stress. So the medical system that I use is the Chinese medical system, because that's what I have training in and it's what I understand. But I know functional medicine is another really holistic approach. I suggest a holistic approach. I mean, do what works for you, but all I'm saying is herbs, supplements, medicines that are going to help support your body while you're going through all that stress. And from a Chinese medical perspective, when you're going through a heartbreak, the organ systems that are affected are going to be your heart and your liver and your kidneys. And really, because the whole system of our organs, they're all interconnected. They all affect each other. So when one gets an imbalance, it'll affect another one. So, but those are the three main ones: the heart, the kidneys, and the liver. And so my suggestion is to actually seek out a professional practitioner in one of these holistic modalities and go get yourself a consultation to get the medicines that are going to really speak to your body type, because it's like with foods, like you can't just say it's not one size fits all. And you want to make sure that the medicines really are for you for obvious reasons. You want them to work. And next, because they're not cheap. This stuff isn't cheap. So if you're going to spend the money, you might as well spend it on, the things that are actually specific for your needs. Not only that, but when it comes to herbs and supplements and stuff, one person's medicine is not another. So I will say, I don't want to get into like specific herbs and things I was taking, because I don't want you to think that that's what you should do for you. But I'm just saying that the idea of getting that kind of support for your body while you're going through that stress is a really good idea. And so you can get it through teas and tinctures and capsules and creams and powders. And so there's a number of ways to do that, but that's a big one. And so ideally there's some kind of like, adrenal tonic, and, something that's good for the heart, the emotional heart as well. This is where Chinese medicine kind of, in my opinion, has like a leg up on a lot of the other modalities, is that it really works with the physical and the emotional and the spiritual all at one time. So, okay, enough on that piece. You get the point. Healthy eating. It's so easy when we're stressed to overeat or emotionally eat, right? Or not eat. It's really important to be disciplined with nourishing the body, really giving the body what it needs, and being committed to consuming things that really truly are healthy for you and going to be supportive to your healing process. So I would say on that note as well, I would recommend not consuming substances of any kind, even caffeine. I know everybody's going to hate that one, but I'm telling you, when you're so stressed, it's a major stress to your kidneys and adrenals. And when you drink caffeine or say do stimulants of any kind, so caffeine, tobacco, and then any substances that are stimulating, you're going to add more stress to your kidneys. And so that's really the opposite of what you want to do, especially if you were like me at all. Like my stress created a really intense bout of insomnia that lasted for the most part of the 8 months, the 8 out of the 9 months that I've been going through my own heartbreak transformation. And so to not sleep and be stressed, and on top of it, if I'm gonna like down caffeine, that's just a triple. That's a recipe for fatigue. That is and that's a hard one to climb out of once you dig that hole. So you want to take care of your kidneys and adrenals. From a Chinese medical perspective, that organ system is responsible for our vitality, longevity, our aging, our reproductive health, the health of our bones, our hair, teeth. So it's really important to take care of that system. Not only that, but that system is that's considered the root of our health. All of the organ systems are built on top of the kidneys. So they're kind of like the roots, and then everything else from there is like the trunk and the branches. It's really super important to support the health of our kidneys and adrenals. The way that energy works is that once it's spent, we don't get it back. So it's our life force energy. And it's really important to protect that and treat it like it's sacred. So as much as possible, especially when you go through your heartbreak transformation journey, there's going to be these peaks and valleys. And when you're in those valleys, when you are down in the depths of that despair, just please consider doing yourself a favor and just take a break from all substances. You will benefit from it. Trust me. I mean, before that, I was, I would drink caffeine every day for sure. I was like eating weed edibles like every day, low dose, but still, every day. I also had alcohol. Like I probably had like 1 to 4 drinks a week. Like no problem. I like drinking. And, but when I was going through, especially like in the first 4 months, I couldn't touch any of that. My body was so tapped out and felt so I didn't feel healthy enough to consume those indulgences. So just listen to yourself, listen to your body. And if you're feeling particularly fatigued, then just consider backing off of that stuff. Okay. All right. Moving on to something that's related, prioritizing healthy sleep. So important. So important. So something that I've been telling my clients for years, I say, sleep and breathing are on equal levels of importance to our life. Sleep and breathing. The only difference is that the absence of one kills us faster than the absence of the other. but they will both definitely kill us. And so we need sleep. It's so important for so many reasons. I would say actually too, that like as far as like all self-care, everything that falls under the umbrella of self-care, which is a lot, I would say actually sleep is the most important. Sleep and breathing are the most important of all of them. If you're eating healthy and you're taking all the supplements and you're getting all the acupuncture and you're getting a massage and healthy treatments, you're going to the spa, you're going to the hot springs, that's all good. But I'm telling you that if you're not sleeping, it actually, like, none of that stuff even really, you're not even giving it a chance to work. If you're not sleeping, the efficacy of that stuff is nowhere near what it would be as if you were sleeping well. And in fact, again, circling back around to the piece of like that stuff, like it ain't cheap, you know, like you spend a pretty penny on all that stuff. And if you really want the effects from it, then I just highly suggest that you prioritize healthy sleep. It's so important. It will really, really support your journey of healing through the heartbreak. Meditate daily. I mean, every day. Sit down, like you can find 5 minutes, 10 minutes if that's all you have. I do 20 minutes a day. I sit down, I set my timer for 20 minutes. You need time every day because going through a heartbreak transformation, which is what it is, it really is a transformation. It's an amazingly powerful opportunity of evolution. But part of that process of transformation, it involves so much processing. We need to unpack the contents of our mind so that we can sleep at night. And just to help us like sort out, like there's so many layers. There's so much nuance that goes into a heartbreak. We need to give ourselves that time to first of all, ground into our bodies, ground into the present moment, and give ourselves an opportunity to let the mind clear and to connect, even if to take it a little bit further. If you believe in a higher power, if you believe that exists, use meditation as an opportunity to connect with that energy and really call in the guidance and the assistance. In my experience, that stuff is very real. It's a big part of my life, and I can't even speak enough to the value that connection brings into my life. And so, yeah, and I mean, I guess trailing on that piece is the power of prayer. If you're in meditation and you want to explore and experiment with the power of prayer, hey, it's a good time to do it, because when you're going through a heartbreak, it's definitely a moment of desperation, right? You're in despair. And there's just these moments where, I mean, if you're going to call in some guidance and assistance, then it's a good time to do that. And just know that your voice is one of your greatest creative tools that you have at hand. And so your voice and your intention, and when you open yourself to receive guidance and wisdom and grace and ease, blessings, protection, that it will come to you. The trick with this stuff, this is how I understand it, we have to call it in. We have to call it in. We have like an entourage of guiding forces around us at all times that are waiting for us to invite them into our experience and offer help. So spend some time in your meditation doing that. And, you know, sometimes it feels funny even to like do it and to speak out loud. You can speak out loud. You can just, you know, think it and feel it. You can write it down. Your words are very powerful though. So I would say use this as an opportunity to explore that further and really like use that creative force to assist you in your heartbreak transformation, because it works. So there's a meditation that I'm just going to like go through this piece really quick because there's a lot to it. But the reason why I want to share this meditation is because, like I've been saying, there's a lot of process, right? When you're going through a heartbreak, a lot of process. And it's almost as if like your whole field just gets consumed with it, right? And it's hard to even be really connected to like your moment, like where you are and what's going on, right? And it's almost like the field of vision just like narrows, right? And it's just stuck on this piece, right? And so there's this meditation that I was doing that really, really helped to like, how I think of it, it's like to seal the field, seal the field. And so when I would breathe in, I would imagine a circle, like a line of energy, and I would like imagine, so I would breathe in a way that, and I would visualize a line that creates a circle around my body. And when I would inhale, it would go from the backside of me, from my base up the back of my spine, and when I would inhale, it would come back around and go back down to my base. Inhaling up behind and exhaling down in front. And I would just repeat. And what it would do is it would actually break the process. It would break the process, and it would help me connect to my moment, my experience, to myself. It would help me kind of like, it would kind of just open it up. And it would feel like a huge relief. So, you know, I'm going to say, I'll just leave that there because I want to move on. But what I'll say about that is, if you want to experiment with that, just go for it. Just explore it, you know, just don't try to get too heady in your mind about it. Just, you know, use your imagination, use your power of visualization, use your breath, and that's it, you know, and just let it work. And, you know, you're going to have to do it several times, and maybe do it every time you meditate. And with repetition, I think it might benefit you too. Okay, moving on. Okay, next, as far as like in the topic of self-care, when going through Heartbreak Transformation, spend a lot of time in nature. Get outside, move your body, connect to the elements. Let yourself enjoy the beauty of nature, you know. Let yourself ground. Go lay on a big rock. Go lay on the beach. Go find, you know, lay a blanket out and lay in the forest, you know, and just lay on the earth and just let yourself be held, and just let the earth just absorb all the heavy emotion, all the heavy energy, and let it recharge with its energy. I promise it, all you need is like 5 minutes. Just, you know, try it, give it a whirl and see. But, or go take a walk, you know, I mean, there's a lot of ways to enjoy in nature, but get outside, connect with the elements, you know, and just be around all that beauty. I mean, that in itself is very healing and medicinal. Okay, another one. I'm a big fan of water as a healing force. So for those of you that have access to a bathtub or a hot tub, or I don't know, pools or springs or the ocean or river, any body of water, I would say utilize that as much as you can. I was taking a bath every night because it was just really, it would really help me clear and ground. It would also like help me renew and nourish, and it would like make like be comforting, you know, and it would be something that like felt like a powerful reset and a source of connection to myself. So I would really say, if you have access to water in any way to submerge your body with, please treat yourself and go ahead and do that. Another aspect of, so I'm talking, so like all of this is stuff that I just like kind of, this is all part of my daily lifestyle pretty much, but I'm saying like, and I hope it is for you too. I hope you have a ongoing daily self-care practice that you're utilizing in some way, at least like 20 minutes a day. But what I'm really wanting to focus on here on the self-care piece is because when we're going through our heartbreak, we need to up the self-care game, like a lot. We need a lot of support for ourselves for what we're going through. So please give yourself that gift, and it will just really support you in your journey. So like, you know, it might even mean like go away for a weekend, you know, go on a retreat or go to a hot springs resort or, you know, go on a trip or, you know, like get away, you know, like take care of yourself, really unplug. Also, daily journaling is really important. You need an outlet for all that process. You need, and not only that, but the act of writing things out is going to help the process along, and it's going to help you to discover the conclusions that you need every step along the way to get you to the completion of your heartbreak transformation. It will help you sort, like I said, just, you know, there's so many layers and nuances and facets. I mean, you need to get that out of you, and it needs to go somewhere. And it's really helpful to write. It will help illuminate things about your journey and your process that will be really meaningful for you, and that will support you in your journey along the way. So, and last piece on the self-care topic, and then I'll move on, is no contact. It's hard. It's so hard when you're breaking up with someone, to have no contact. It's so hard. And look, I mean, you know, some people break up, and maybe the breakup is a catalyst that helps them like get their shit together so they can actually be better in relationship together, you know? Sure. Like I've been in that experience before, and, you know, so that's possible, but sometimes breakups happen because the people aren't meant to be together. You know, sometimes like we have like the journey, like we have what's meant to be, and maybe it's like just a much shorter moment of time than we expected. And so, you know, and sometimes it's just run its course, and it just makes the most sense that you fully let the relationship go, right? In that situation, you gotta go no contact. You can't keep talking to them and seeing them and connecting. I mean, how are you supposed to heal if you keep doing so? And you know, like I was reading this one book, by the way. There's a really great book called How to Fix a Broken Heart by Guy something. I don't know. You can find it on Audible if you want, or like Kindle or something. But How to Fix a Broken Heart. It's a quick read. Yeah, what he was saying in that book, he's a psychologist, and he was saying how when we go through a heartbreak, what happens in our brain is actually that we go through withdrawals in the same way as if we're going through withdrawals of drugs, like hard drugs, like cocaine and heroin. The same receptors in the brain for both heartbreak and withdrawal from drugs, it's the same that gets lit up. And so, you know, you almost have to treat the heartbreak, and like it's almost like part of what makes it hard is like going through all those withdrawal symptoms. And it's so tempting to want to get that dopamine hit by like reaching out and then they respond, or by seeing them and, you know, or maybe like getting together actually and maybe having sex again or something. You know, it's so easy to want to go there. But if you're certain that this is a connection that you are meant to complete, you need to go no contact. And there's a way to do it that's graceful, kind, and respectful. You know, you can just simply make it about you. This is what you need for your healing. This is not about them. You're not doing it to spite them. You're not doing it because you're pissed at them. You're not doing it to like get back at them. You're doing it to heal yourself, to respect yourself, to protect yourself. So I'm saying this piece because sometimes people even will feel bad about the idea of no contact, like they'll feel bad about it for the other person. But this is a situation, like this is a high stress situation where you really need to think about number one, which is you. And the other person can be a grown-up and they can deal with that. Okay? Okay, so the next topic so this is kind of a branch off of the self-care, I guess, which is professional help. Look, I've been in the healing arts and spiritual arts for 20 years. I have a lot of tools. When this curveball came into my life, and the tower crumbled. One of the reason why I created the Heartbreak Transformation service that I offer is because I was like, holy smokes, like if this is so hard for me, like I can't even imagine for other people that like don't have the tools I have, you know? So I really think that even somebody with a lot of tools and experience and all this stuff, like sometimes the healer needs to be healed, right? Sometimes the teacher needs to learn. Sometimes the guide needs to be guided, right? So I'm going to share with you about what my guides were and my healers were. And just in case you live in the Bay Area, by the way, and you want to come, like I'm going to list some of these people that are local to the Bay. And actually in the information for this video, I'll share everybody's contact information because some of them work online too. So I'm just going to share who my helpers were. And my hope is ultimately that it just inspires you to reach out for help. It's a big journey. And, you know, again, some breakups are always hard, but some are like ridiculously traumatic, right? So if you need help, reach out for the help. Okay, so I think getting massages on a regular basis and acupuncture, those have been two of my go-tos to really tend to like my body and my energetic system, my organ system, along with like how I was saying with the self-care piece earlier. I started off first of all with intense physical exercise to really help move like all that energy, all that anger and sadness and frustration and confusion and just all the things that come, you know, like really help move that through the body. Massage does the same in a different way. Helps to really work the energy out of our tissues and receiving human touch. So, you know, talk about withdrawal. One of the biggest parts of breakups, right, is the withdrawal from that affection that we just got so used to, you know, especially if you're living with your partner and, you know, you're sleeping next to them and you're around each other all the time. And it's like all of a sudden, all of the affection is just gone, cut off. And your body, like, it's almost like it goes into shock, right? It's just like, it's a really hard part of breaking up. And so that's a benefit of massage, just to get hands on your body. It's like, even if you don't know the practitioner, it doesn't matter. Just having hands on the body will make you feel safe and secure. It will make you feel like, oh yeah, I'm not here doing this all on my own. I actually don't have to carry this all on my own. Like I actually can soften and relax and receive. And, so it's just, I highly recommend massage and acupuncture really to work on the deeper organ systems that get affected through heartbreak. Again, the main organ systems that you're going to want to really, really take care of during a heartbreak is the kidneys, the liver, and the heart. So acupuncture is really great for that. So I have a guy in the Bay Area for massages. Again, I'll put the information in the description for the video, but his name's Oscar. He's amazing. I've been seeing Oscar regularly for 2 years. He's extremely skilled. I'm a body worker as well. I'm very picky. My standards are very high. Most massage therapists don't meet my standards. He does. It's very sensual, very deep, firm. It's very like, he does great line work. You know, he like really like follows the lines of the body very well, and it's a really like the flow makes sense. You ever get a massage and you feel like the style of the massage, it feels like the person, like it's like ADD massage or something, right? It's like just doesn't make sense. No, his always makes sense, and he's super professional and reliable, consistent every time. Highly recommend. And acupuncture, I see a man in Fairfax at Dragon Heart Healing Arts, Stephen Finkbein. This man is a wizard, straight up wizard. He just like pull, like without me even having to say anything, he just like pulls information out of the field and is like, you know, feeds it back to me of what's going on. And it's just like, how does he know this? Oh my God. I don't know. He's on another level, and his acupuncture is super effective, and you can get tons of herbs and supplements, and I'm on a whole protocol and it's working. Oh, thank God. Thank God for our helpers, right? Yeah, Dragon Heart's amazing. So EFT, emotional freedom technique. Okay. This has been life-changing for me. I have this woman, Rhea. Again, I think her handle on Instagram is Blessed Rebirth. Yeah, Blessed Rebirth, and that's her website too. Again, I'll put the information in the description. She works online. She's out of Asheville, North Carolina. This woman is an amazing healer. Again, I've been in the healing and spiritual arts for 20 years. Been around the block. This has been like a life-changing modality for me. If you're interested, if you're someone who's interested to really dive deep into your journey and understand what's here for you, to really understand the opportunity that's being given to you through this heartbreak experience for you to recreate yourself with, and therefore move forward on your path as an even more powerful, empowered, conscious creator, then you're going to want to grab onto it, and you're going to want to mine the process for the treasure that's available. Okay. And EFT is a really effective way to do that. It's basically working with Chinese meridian systems in the body and tapping and all these affirmations. And I don't really understand how it works, but what I'll say is that I've done a lot of psychedelics, and I've had very powerful healing journeys with psychedelics, and the EFT experience and psychedelic experience are very similar in the ways where the timelines that you can tap into and like the dimensions of being it's profound, actually. And EFT, it's sober, and you don't have to, there's nothing for the body to process, and it's a lot shorter of an experience. So yeah, this woman, like through the EFT work I was doing with her, the benefit of it was that it really connected me to the deeper, the deepest actually gifts of what this journey was offering me, that went beyond my own personal life journey. It went into my family, what I've inherited from both my dad's side and my mom's side, like going into both of those ancestral lines separately, and just seeing like how through this experience I have this opportunity to heal the imprints that I inherited that ultimately were influencing me, like as far as like my part of this breakup, the outcome of this breakup, as far as like what was my part, what I contributed, how it was influenced by these imprints that I experienced from my ancestral line. And that by doing the work to discover what that is, I was not only healing myself, I was actually doing the healing for my ancestral line. Powerful medicine, very powerful. And I think, actually, I believe that one of the reasons, we can engage with this kind of experience, this kind of process, is like, say if I were to have children, the thing that I inherited from both my mom and my dad, the things that are both separate but like kind of existing in the same realms, what I inherited, because I've done this healing on myself, if I were to have a child, that would not be passed on to my child, because I'm transforming it in myself. Like I've brought it to its fruition. I've done the work, and for my whole, and it not only clears my ancestral path forward, it clears it backward too. It's very powerful. So I need to move on from this topic. There's a lot I can say from it for it. This is going to go a little over the time of the normal call, but let's see. Okay, one thing. Okay, I can't even. This is another thing. Can't speak enough about. So I've been receiving. So my best friend is an esthetician. Okay. I have been receiving her skincare guidance for several years, and also her treatments. And one of the many benefits of getting facials is that you're getting massage on your face for the whole time, and our face is where we hold our personality muscles. This is like where our personality gets expressed to the world. It's not expressed through our forearm, right? It's not expressed through our thigh. It's expressed through our face. So when we're stressed, okay, when we're going through it, all of that is getting held in the face, and it's just tensing and it's wrinkling. And one thing, I know this is going to sound funny, maybe it's a little vain, but oh well. One thing for me, like going through this whole heartbreak transformation, I was like, no fucking way am I gonna come out of this aged. No way. So I was like, I upped my skincare regimen so much, just with like products and facial massage and going to see Summer, who, by the way, again, if you're in the Bay Area, her facials are pure magic. I've had a lot of other facials and they pale in comparison. If you don't live in the Bay and you want her guidance on skincare, so worth it. I just can't even, I can't say enough good things about it. But on the like relaxation part alone, it's just like to like get all the tension worked out. And especially like if you do have problems sleeping, like I had been going through for a long time, it works every time. I had a great night's sleep every time because it just helped to clear out all the stress. You don't realize how much stress you hold in your face till it starts getting massaged. It feels really good. So I'm going to put her information in the description. Oh, and then the last I'm going to say, and then I'll move on from this piece, is I received 2 channeling sessions. So I do use divination of various kinds to guide my life journey, astrology and tarot and channeling and, because it works. And it's very helpful. So this woman, Katya, that I'm friends with, I'll put her information in the description, but her channeling sessions, I would describe it like being wrapped in a warm, cozy blanket of love. Just like connecting me to like pieces that brought me back to a sense of empowerment. Because, when you're going through the heartbreak, I know for myself, like I started to feel far away from that sense of empowerment. I started to feel like far away from like the bigger picture. It's just, you get so immersed with the process, and it's so crunchy, and like, it just is like compacting in on you, right? And so it's like receiving this kind of guidance to help reconnect us with the bigger picture of our life and who we are and like what the hell's going on, like what we do about all of it. It's just helpful, it's really helpful. So the whole point of sharing in this section is reach out for help. If and it's always really best to go through recommendations of people rather than just doing a Google search, because I'll tell you one thing, side note, like I said, I've been in the healing and spiritual arts for 20 years, and what I'll say about it is, like it's a community of people where I feel like it's just got like the most fakers, So you got to be like careful about who you go to, and like just doing like a Google search and like hoping for the best. I don't know. You might be lucky. I don't know. I think it's best to always go through a recommendation of someone. Moving on. Okay. So lifestyle adjustments. I'm going to speak to this piece briefly. Ultimately, just to sum it up, Just recognize when you're going through a heartbreak, recognize that it's insanely stressful. And especially if it's like traumatic, like a traumatic heartbreak, recognize that you are in a moment of time that is not your normal like moment of time. Like it's not your normal timeline. It's not your normal life. You will probably need, it would benefit, I'll say, it will benefit you to make adjustments to your lifestyle that will prioritize your self-care and prioritize your healing. Make the adjustments, get really clear on what's needed, and just line up with it. Just do it. I'll tell you that I had struggle with this piece around caffeine, weed, and alcohol. I kept trying to tell myself, like, I would just, all the ways that we like justify why we should do the thing we know we shouldn't do. We're so good at that. I just really had to, there's so much I could say about all this. Oh gosh, it really is such a journey. I'll just leave it there and just say, notice what your body is telling you to do and just line up with it. You'll be happy you did. I'll just say it like that. Social self-care, receive support from friends and family, especially for introverts. I gotta say, like as an introvert, it's so easy. Like I just like pull in and cave out, and that's, it's kind of needed in how I heal and process, but just make sure that you're not isolating yourself, because that's not good either. And let your friends and family be there for you. It's kind of on the same topic of like this, reaching out for professional support. Let the people who love you, let them love you. Let them love and support you. They want to. Okay. I'm noticing the time is kind of cutting short, so I'm going to get to the parts that I feel like are the juiciest of what's left here. Okay. See the perfection through the pain. If you're somebody who engages with your transformational process in life, if you're somebody who is interested in that and, thinks there's value in that, then this is going to be a really important piece to grab onto. What is the pain communicating to you? What are your needs? What are the needs that aren't getting met? What's like really, and ultimately I think the biggest piece that stands out for me on this one is like personal responsibility, personal accountability, personal integrity, personal value and respect. Breakups will tell you a lot about all of that. And ultimately where we let ourselves down, ultimately where we abandon ourselves in those areas of relationship to ourselves. And because ultimately we call in relationships that are at a level that we think we deserve. And so if we received less than, then, take a look at why we allowed that. Why did we let ourselves be devalued or disrespected or dishonored or, and, it's like just really seeing like what's mine, right? Like really, really doing the work to grab onto that and bring a lot of like self-compassion and forgiveness and humility ultimately to looking at what's mine. What did I contribute to creating this outcome? And it's not about being like right or wrong. It's not a right or wrong thing. It's just learning. It's just learning and growing. And the beauty of relationships is that we help each other on that path. And sometimes we help each other through love, and sometimes we help each other through pain. But you know what? It's all love. It's all love. Even the pain. The core of the pain is love. And then it's just wrapped in a bunch of pain. But at its core is love. The pain wouldn't be there if the love wasn't there. It's beautiful, even though it's so sad and so hard. And like really cultivating gratitude for the journey while also honoring the human experience, Like getting to a point, I think, like, so what I'm kind of getting to here is basically, how do we wrap it up? How do we complete the journey? How do we complete the breakup? It's super important to do it in a good way for our healing process, and ultimately to honor the journey of love shared with another. I mean, I think that's incredibly special, incredibly sacred. And and it's like, even if you feel disrespected and dishonored and devalued and all the things, wrap it up in a way that's true to you, with a level of integrity and honor that you just want to bring to it, because you have a lot of integrity and honor and respect, and you want to bring that to the completion of this breakup and relationship and to the journey, and you want to give it what it really deserves, which is a heartfelt thank you and gratitude and blessings as we separate paths. And it's okay if it's a journey to get to that point. It's probably gonna be, but and I'm not saying to do that and in a way that like ignores the human experience. It doesn't mean that like wrapping it up in a good way and being grateful for the journey means that like you feel great about everything, about how it all went down. You probably won't. And that's okay. It's like, we can still have our feelings about it. We can still have like our human experience and like recognize that like, yeah, it really sucked. So hurtful, so painful. But it's like, it's not a this or that. It's a that and that kind of a situation. It's one of those points in life where it's everything all at the same time, all at the same space, side by side together, you know? So just like part of it is bringing so much compassion and forgiveness to ourselves first and foremost. We have to really take a good, honest look at ourselves and like, what was ours? And just have compassion and forgiveness for all the ways that we didn't know better, for all the ways that we abandoned ourselves, for all the ways we denied our own intuition. For all the ways we wish we could have done it differently, you know, like just so much compassion and forgiveness to ourselves, and to the other, for all the same on their end, you know. And, you know, part of the thing with breakups too is like, it feels so personal. And I mean, to some point it is, right? I mean, obviously, but on the deeper levels of it, it's not personal, you know? It's not. It's like everyone just doing the best they can with the tools they have, and, you know, everyone's got to learn their own life lessons, and they have their ways that they need to do it. And, you know, so to try to understand like this is less about me, and this is more about this person and what they need. And apparently for their healing journey, they needed to do this thing and they needed to go in this other direction, and bless them on their way, you know? But again, I think the way that we wrap up a breakup in a relationship is super important to our own healing experience. So yeah, I'm at the end here, and what I'll say is, again, so if you missed it at the beginning, the reason why I'm talking about this today is that yesterday marked for me 9 months to the day of when he broke up with me and created this massive, devastating tower moment in my life. And yesterday was 9 months to the day, and on the new moon in Cancer a couple weeks ago, I did the thing I needed to do to wrap it up in a good way, so I could, you know, just wrap it up and just lay it down and walk away, you know. And then yesterday on the full moon in Capricorn was 9 months to the day, and it just felt like so auspicious. And I'm just noticing how good I feel and how strong I feel, and I feel like myself again, and I feel liberated, and I feel empowered, and I feel excited, and I'm like, oh my God, I have like the whole world, you know, of options and possibilities and potentials. Like I can just, you know, all that I can create and all that I can do, and you know, really taking like the blessings of this beautiful love and all the ways that it helped to grow me and transform me and heal me, and like bring it on my path forward with me, right? And so I'm just, part of this share is like I'm celebrating this because I feel successful and accomplished in my own heartbreak transformation journey, and it just oh my gosh, a journey it was to get to this point. So on that note, I'll say that I do have, like I said, I created an offering. Heartbreak Transformation is a title of the offering that I have available for people that want some guidance and assistance of navigating this journey in their own lives, and for people that want to also do it in a way that really gets into like the nitty-gritty of just all the layers, so that they can like truly mine the treasures of what's available in the heartbreak to gift them, bless them, equip them with being an even more powerful conscious creator of their life, their dream life, and ultimately their dream love moving forward. So if you want information on that offering, it's on my website, goddessmodern.com. And again, I'll leave it in the description box for this video. If you're interested to join my email newsletter, you could do so at the bottom of any page on my website. Heartbreak Transformation is the offering, and goddessmodern.com is my website. You can go there and fill in your email if you'd like to receive a monthly newsletter. I write on all kinds of topics having to do with holistic wellness, feminine embodiment, sensuality, relationships and intimacy, and transformational work. So if you're into that kind of thing, then please sign up for my email newsletter, or you could even DM me what your email is and I'll just enter it for you. If you're interested in any of my writing, on all the topics that I just spoke to, they're all available on my website as well. Okay, that's it. Thank you so much for being here with me, and to everybody going through the heartbreak transformation journey. I just know what you're going through, and trust me, you will get to the other side. And if you really engage with the process, you will come out an even more polished gem. You know, polished gems, you know, precious gemstones, they are the way they are because of the pressure and the tumbling and the you know, the heat and everything they go through, and then they get faceted, they get carved out, right, to be this beautiful shining gem. And so that's what you have an opportunity to do through the heartbreak transformation journey. So I hope that for you. So happy healing to your beautiful heart, and thank you for your time here. All right, bye guys.